Hey, it's Rob trying to save a buck again. So I have a weight 6000 humidifier. So first thing I'm going to do is just quickly go through how the furnace mounted humidifier works. If you know how this works, skip ahead and we'll get to the part about how I'm diagnosing it. So essentially what we have is we have a water line that's attached to the house water, and it goes down to a solenoid. Okay, so it's going down, it's curling, and it's coming back up through the bottom of the solenoid. And then out of the solenoid, okay, which is like a plunger. So when it needs water, then the plunger pulls back and the water flows through, goes through and goes into the unit. What's it do in the unit? So underneath on these ones, there's a little thumb screw here. It has a blade screwdriver, standard screwdriver piece on, so if it's tight, you stick a screwdriver in there. Don't use vice grips, it's plastic. And then these things are finicky. You kind of have to go out a bit, but then up. So I'm doing it with one hand. There it is, up. It's over here. So the water comes out of the solenoid, goes into the top, gets spread, and then runs down this panel. Whatever's left over goes down the drain, goes into your floor. When the humidifier detects that there's air coming through this unit, then going back into the return, so a flow is happening, and you require humidity. So I'm set to 35, which is higher than its current 16 I'm at. Okay, now 35 I know is high, but because I've been trying to make it work and making sure that I don't go over. So if as this number is higher than this number, it says, oh, you're going to want to add some moisture into your air. So then it says, okay, send the water, and then this LED light will come on, and 24 volts. And I'm going to go to the other side now. Oops. Okay, so let's just zoom in a bit. Okay, 24 volts will come out of these two lines and around and activate that solenoid. So now we need to troubleshoot because I'm not getting any water. So the first thing I checked, of course, was the light coming on? If the light's not coming on, it means that you don't have adequate airflow. I'm going to zoom back. So if I don't have adequate airflow, did I forget to open up my valve this year? No. So my light did come on. It was fine. Do I even have water? Did I turn this line off in the spring with that valve up there? All right. Did I turn that line off and forget to turn it off now that winter's here? And I went and I checked, and it is open. I forgot to close it. So I took a little adjustable wrench. This is plastic, it's not tight at all. I loosened this at the bottom, and water started to squirt out. So I just tighten it back up again. You don't need to go tight, just until the water stops. And then maybe like an eighth of a turn, okay? Because it is plastic, you will break it. So I know I've got water to the solenoid. Do I have, can water make it past the solenoid? I have very hard water, you can tell by the stains. I have very hard water here. So I took this one off. A few turns, I take it off. There is a little restrictor right in the very end. It's maybe, oh, I don't know, quarter inch, just over half a centimeter. And it has a pinhole in it. So I took the end of the hose and I blew, and there was a little bit of water still in here, and I could hear the water come out. I know that I don't have a blockage. If I had a blockage, first thing I would do is I go get a needle. It's a very tiny hole, and then try to open that orifice up, and then get rid of my blockage. So I have water coming in for sure. I know that I don't have a blockage between the solenoid and here, so it's got to be that solenoid. Two things: solenoid doesn't work. Hard water, it's burnt out. It's electromagnet, right? So it's burnt out. I'm not getting voltage. Well, voltage is the easiest one to check. So we can see right on the side here, that it is, let's see if we can zoom in, AC 24 volts. So I'm not going to do it because it's too loud, but let's zoom back out. Sorry, I'm doing my camera. I didn't expect to. Okay, so on my multimeter, I have AC, volts, okay, and I'm going to go over to those two connectors, and I need to start my furnace up with this closed. This has to be closed because it needs to measure the airflow. So I have to put the cover back on and then start it up. When this light comes on, then I should have a constant 24 volts on those two wires that I showed you before. So I'm going to put my, let's see if we zoom right in. I'm going to put my multimeter on this one and this one and see if I have 24 volts. So, surprise, surprise, I have done this test and I don't actually have 24 volts. I was hoping I did, because if I had 24 volts, then I know that that solenoid or that plunger is toast, and I'd have to go in the parts bin, and go on with Weight or Honeywell and find that part. But as far as I can tell, it works. So the way these things come is you get 24 volts right off of here. So I took these two and I jumped them over to these two, and my solenoid clicks. So I know my solenoid works. And that means that I have a circuit board that's toast. So I guess I'll update with a short or something. I'm gonna have to see whether there's a circuit board, where the circuit board is. Maybe it's in there, where the circuit board is, and what it takes to replace it, and whether it's worth it, or do I just go spend another couple $100 and just get a new humidifier. I was hoping, last thing, I was hoping that if it was the solenoid, then that's an easy fix. It would take my needle-nose pliers, and I would take those two wires off if they don't come off already, which they probably do. They do. Okay. Take those two wires off. There's a screw, and there's one underneath. There's a screw here. Okay, it's a Phillips screwdriver. So you're going to take two wires off, take those two screws out, make sure you turn your water off, get a bucket, and take this one off, tip it in the bucket. It's going to have some water in it. Take this one off, and then that whole unit comes off. Slap the new unit on and reverse it, right? Put your water on, put your water on. You already screwed these two things, put these two lines in, doesn't matter top or bottom, and then go turn your water back on again. All right, well, I hope this helped, and have a great day. Bye.